Not only this semi-final, the quarterfinals and the round of 16 has been spectacular. This is the Champions League that we want, that all the people want.
Yeah, this is the Champions League that is the biggest promotion for football. This is the best sports competition, not just football competition in the world. And when you saw matches, it's unbelievable. And I'm happy that we changed the away goal rule. When I said that to some of my colleagues, they said, but there will be more penalties, but it's not true. You saw it. The matches are, by my opinion, more interesting nowadays for the top clubs, and all the clubs that play Champions League are top clubs. Playing away is almost the same as playing home. So I'm looking forward for the matches and for the finals.
It's a very strong moment of the English Premier League football, but still Real Madrid is always there. How is it possible?
You have to ask them how it's possible, but for me, one of the most underestimated players ever is Benzema. He's an amazing player. They have Luka Modric, who is, the older he gets, the better he is. You know, they are an experienced team. So you can say that they were a bit lucky in some matches, but you cannot be only lucky. You can be lucky in one match, but if you are playing like this and coming back like this, it's quite amazing.
It's interesting that you said of Benzema, because a lot of people think so.
Yeah, now I think he's becoming more and more recognized, but he was always in the shadow of someone, and it's amazing how this guy can score. I mean, when you are sure that it's impossible to score, he scores. An impressive player. We wanted to show to the fans that we respect them, that we miss them in the times of COVID, that we are happy that they are still loyal to football. I think we have to show something. We lost a lot of money, but this is worth doing. So to show the fans, because we knew it before, but now we know even more that football is about fans and football is about the players. All the rest is supporting team around. We are all supporting team. I don't pretend to be the star of the game, because I'm not. When you see empty stadiums, when you hear the goalkeeper shouting and the coach shouting, it's sad. It's not the same football. So we wanted to do something symbolical to show, look, we are here for you. I didn't say they're not so strong, but this project, which I'm quite fed up of talking about, because for me this doesn't exist anymore, would absolutely ruin football. When I saw the reaction of the English fans, I was impressed. French and German fans didn't do anything because their clubs didn't participate. And then you are a bit surprised by the soft reaction of the fans in Spain and in Italy, although sometimes it goes a bit slower in some countries. So Italian teams went out, Atletico Madrid went out, so not even much time for the reaction. For me it was a bit of a surprise, especially Barcelona fans, because Barcelona is people's club.
Not Real Madrid?
Barcelona is especially known as the club of I don't know now how many members Real has in Barcelona, but it was always like fans are going to General Assembly, fans are deciding about everything, and the reaction was not very strong. But now it doesn't matter anymore. It was stressful for 2-3 days, very stressful, because you are surprised, of course, if people unanimously support something and then knowing that they already signed for something else. But in a way, I'm glad that it happened, because it was always in the air from some people. It was always a threat somehow, somewhere. Now it came out and it's fine. For me, it's good that we finished once and for all with this nonsense of an idea that football can be bought, that football is just for elite, just for rich, which will not happen. Some people told me, but they killed, the same people killed basketball. And I said, but basketball is not football. It will never be football. Because fans are different, football is part of our history, football is part of our tradition, our culture, it's ours. We cannot have the tickets more expensive than we have now. The Super Bowl tickets are sky high compared to Champions League, although Champions League is a bigger event. But football is, people say football is mine as well. You cannot take it away, and it was no way that they succeed.
You tried to talk with them, or they tried to talk with you after the movement?
No, they didn't. I mean, if you do something like they did, I think it would be correct that they try to speak with us and not that I try to speak with them. They never did. The only greetings from them we got was from the courts, and they were trying to challenge UEFA everywhere. But for me, the situation is quite clear. We never said they cannot play their league. They can play their league if they want. It's funny that they were the first ones to apply for Champions League. But if they play something else, they cannot play our competition. I mean, this is not a monopoly. You can create your own UEFA, you can do whatever you think it's right. But you know, I showed a lot of respect. I don't want to speak about the chairman of Juventus anymore. We know that the relation looked good. What I never said, for example, till now, is that I invited the president of Real, Florentino Perez, to Nyon to speak about the future competitions, and he cancelled the meeting with a text message 24 hours before that he has some event connected to basketball. So with Bartomeu, we didn't speak much because he was in a way on his way out already. So you know, they all had a chance to speak. We never started aggressive, or we never started arrogant. A publication of this project, which is everything but Super League. This was an unbelievable arrogance, and that's why they obviously don't want communication, because they didn't communicate till now with UEFA about anything. But that doesn't mean that our competition is not the same for everyone. You see it because they are in the semi-finals and Barcelona is in the finals of Women's Champions League. So it's clear that that the competition is fair and correct. What will happen later, we'll see.
But the relation is not good with them.
There's no relation. I mean, we have formal relation as club with the organization, and I don't connect so much this situation with clubs, because clubs are much bigger than their presidents, and UEFA is much bigger than the president of UEFA. But personal relations doesn't exist. Of course, it doesn't exist. We just get, as I said, some greetings, letters from court.
In Spain, it's difficult to understand how they are so in the same way against you, because they are historical rivals.
You have to ask them if they will tell you. But there's probably some interest, common interest behind. I don't know, and I don't care how close they are. This is not important for me. Mm-hmm. For me, the most important thing is that football will stay for all. We will not step back a millimeter, and that the European sports model we will defend till the end. Now, what some elitist group wants is their problem, and they can meet and they can do whatever they want.
The Spanish court has given you the reason, so you may reopen the disciplinary expedient. Mm-hmm. It's possible?
Yeah, of course it's possible. It's possible, but let's see what happens. Now we just got the decision. We are glad that finally, because I was shocked that with the previous judge we were not heard at court No hearing from our side, just decisions were coming. And now finally we were heard, and I'm trust into Spanish authorities and court, and let's see what happens. But
it's not good for UEFA also.
What is not good for UEFA?
Keep out the two big teams.
The most important for UEFA is that we show to everyone that there are the same rules for everyone. The moment we have different rules for the big teams than for the small teams, we can close the door. And I think this is the most important. Everybody will have to respect the regulation, everybody will have to respect the others. And you should see that out of 247 ECA clubs, 244 clubs are on our side, which should say something, I think, to a sensible person. They can play in summer or winter or autumn or spring, whatever they want. For me, I don't care if they play. They can also play the Rebel tournament and not play Champions League if they want. Might happen in the future. So no, I don't mind. They think that we are more focused on them than we are. We are not. And if you think you are so important that everything is turning around you, it's wrong. Everything is turning around the ball, not 3 clubs.
Are you confident with the European Tribunal decision? Do you think that UEFA have the reason of this controversy?
Look, first of all, I'm absolutely sure that we don't have a monopoly. Everybody can be member of UEFA, even national associations can be members of UEFA or not. Clubs can play our competition or not. They can play their own competition or not. Everyone is on our side here. I don't see anyone who would say differently. We have fans clearly on our side. We have all the football family. First time maybe in history, clubs except 3, national associations, leagues, FIFPro, fans, players, coaches, European authorities, governments, everybody understands what the European sports model means. And European football is so strong because of the sports model. And if you look at those clubs, you see that they don't have only players from the big countries. They don't have only players that were raised in their clubs. Without this competition being open, football is gone. I care about football even when I'm gone. I hope that everybody thinks the same way. I think and care about football in 30 years when I will be hopefully alive. But it will be more competitive, more interesting, more competitive matches between big, small. I think it's good for competitive balance as well. So the system is more of a league system, which is, I think, much more interesting than this one now, although they say you don't fix what is not broken, and the Champions League is not broken, but it can be even a bit more interesting. We still discuss about it. It might not end up in that direction, because although coefficient was meant that it's how you play on the pitch in the European competition, but still for the system, for the small teams that finally come to a good position in their league, it might be unfair. So we are still thinking about it, and we are seriously discussing it.
Final Four, it's real option?
Final Four might be an option, but the problem is that you then have less matches. Then the semi-finalists don't have home matches. There's only one match, that less for broadcasters. But we are thinking of a great idea, which is a bit too early to share it with public. Also to do something similar like that. But we need a bit of more time to precise it.
Also,
So Champions League on Thursdays, we don't see a chance to play Champions League on Thursdays. We have other competitions which you see now that are very, very interesting. Europa League and Conference League are top competitions now. About the opening match, this was the idea of the chairman of the ECA, Nasser El Khelaifi, and I think it's a very good idea, and we are thinking into this direction, that to do something special for the beginning of Champions League. One match or more matches, or how exactly, we are still discussing. But this is a good idea, because to start the season, to do something big. This is the first time that leagues, ECA and UEFA agreed about a system of financial fair play, which means something, which means that it's fair to all the parts. I'm sure that the idea is great, and the sanctions will be heavy if something happens.
think about the club states that are behind the clubs,
Are you talking about Spanish clubs or some other clubs?
and other clubs.
Because-
if you know any Spanish club,
Because you know, this is a populistic statement. You know, an owner, if he respects the rules, is the owner. Now, many governments help many clubs. We know that, in different ways. I think you should do your best. You should win the competition and stop speaking about state clubs, these clubs, that clubs. It doesn't matter who is the owner if the owner is respecting the rules. And of course, if it's not a criminal or, I don't know, background. But this is populism. And when you speak about traditional and non-traditional clubs, for me, this is a complete nonsense. Things in the world are changing. Traditionally, all the presidents of UEFA were from big countries. I know that some don't like that now a person from a small country came, but things are changing. I would like strong owners to come to football, because that means sustainability, that means that they can finance the youth, women's football, that we can finance all the federations to improve football, that amateur football and everything else, and to weaken the others just because you think you can lose the match against them, it's not correct. I'm a lawyer, and I know that everybody can go to court. That's why we are now changing the rules, that to not to have a situation like, not just this one, but we still have, I think, 95% or more success rate at Court of Arbitration for Sports. But then there are cases that are very interesting for the media, and they say, you lost the case. You lose the... As much as I know, and I think it was published as well, the disciplinary was opened, and now we have, as you know, an independent disciplinary committee which decides. I don't know in which state it is. I don't want to know, and it's not correct that I ask about a specific disciplinary cases. I don't. I never do. They should focus on selling tickets more than on the fallen Super League. It's about the club. I don't know. I don't know what they did, but if fans have tickets, they enter with tickets. I don't know how they did it, because UEFA is not selling tickets. I'm very glad that it was not UEFA who was selling tickets, because they would say that UEFA, you see what they are doing. Now it happened to them. I don't know. I got a question from a famous coach that I will not say the name, because it was a personal SMS to me. How is it possible? I said, ask Barcelona, not me. We don't have anything. We even don't go to those matches. Again, it's hard for me to comment the disciplinary case, because it's a disciplinary case. Second, if there's a Nazi salute, no sanction is strong enough. Those idiots should be banned from the stadiums forever, not for one match. I'm not talking about this case, I'm talking about cases in principle. I don't know details about the case, but of course, probably they are not happy, and to be honest, I don't care if they are not happy. I said at the beginning that I want one European bid, and it happened, and I can say that all the 55 federations from Europe will fully support the Spanish and Portuguese
Do you
bid.
have options?
I think I will say we, because it's Europe. I'm sure we will win. I'm sure. They just went to the media. Wenger was speaking about it, but everyone from the football community was against it. Although they tried to present it differently. And now I'm glad that FIFA also understood that it's not a good idea. So as much as I know, it's gone. So of course I'm happy because it will not happen. 24 teams, 8 European teams. We don't have a problem with that. The problem was the transparency. The problem was that all of a sudden there was 25 billion euros or dollars somewhere from when we asked who is financing. We were not informed. Nobody wanted to tell us anything. So this is a problem for us. For me, if there's a competition every 4 years, it's fine. It's fine. They can play, and we already supported it. Mm-hmm. Now, are they planning to do it? And when? If when? I don't know. And to be honest, it's not my problem. European teams and South Americans even more. They, in a way, complain that they don't play each other enough. To be honest, probably this is a bigger advantage for us than for them, which is clear at the World Cups, because we still have more quality teams. Chief Refereeing Officer Rossetti and his team, they told the referees, you use VAR when it's needed to be used, not for every decision, and then you don't decide anymore on the pitch. So I don't know, I don't follow the Spanish use of VAR much, but I know that in Europe it functions well. The rule that every hand is a hand, if you score after that, it's a bit strange, because, for example, Luis Figo told me once, he says if this rule would exist where I was a player, he said if I wouldn't know what to do, I would kick the ball to the opponent's hand, because I know how to do it. And this, I think we should discuss more. We should discuss more. It's an IFAB decision. I asked my refereeing officers, I said, what the hell happened in this match? It was not intentional, the hand was in a natural position. What happened? Yeah, these are new rules where when you score, every handball is handball, but what does it mean? Where do you put your hand? How do you put it? You cannot play with hands behind your back. So it's a lot of work to do.